Bringing Out the Dead is a 1999 drama directed by Martin Scorsese, or Scorsese, depending where you are in the world, or how you want to say it.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
We won't judge.
No.
Yeah, so it stars Nicolas Cage as a paramedic called Frank Pierce, and it's set over the course of 3 nights. He's basically he's on the graveyard shift, working overnight in the Hell's Kitchen area of New York. Straight away at the start of the film, you can see that he's gaunt. He looks tired all the time, and he's basically burnt out. He's at the end of his tether with the job, and can't do it anymore. Really, there's a bit of a voiceover at the start where he says he hasn't saved anyone for weeks, and he's haunted by all the people that he hasn't saved. He sees images of people that died while he's trying to save them, and so he's not a well guy. He needs a break, but he can't seem to get one. It basically follows him on those 3 nights. The first call that we see him go to is for a guy who's had a heart attack, and they manage to get his heart beating again. And his daughter is there. He's played by Patricia Arquette, and they sort of keep meeting over the course of the film as her father is still in the hospital, fighting for his life. And yeah, we just their story unfolds over the course of those 3 nights, and we see him with 3 different partners. Played by John Goodman and Ving Rhames and Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, it's not your typical Scorsese film. It kind of is.
Visually, it is.
It does feel like it. There are moments in it that feel a little bit like Taxi Driver. Obviously, it's set in New York,
and the screenplay is by Paul Schrader.
It's by Paul Schrader, who wrote Taxi Driver. It's all set at night. They're nighttime paramedics. There's
a few daytime scenes.
There's a few daytime scenes, but they kind of work at night and everything. So it does feel at times like Taxi Driver, but it's it's a really interesting film. It's a good, quite original story. I kind of linked it to Taxi Driver because the famous Travis Bickle saying, all the animals come out at night, and then the whole skunk pussy dialogue. This is kind of all those animals that come out at night and the paramedics are having to deal with. That's kind of what I thought of it. But I think it's it's typical Scorsese. It's shot, it's clear that Scorsese understands cinema and he knows what to do with film and he plays around with different things.
There's some cool shots.
I quite like how there's a strange glow.
Yeah, a lot of the whites and the lights are quite overblown.
Which kind of I felt slightly angelic. Because of course the film is about life and death and living on the brink of death. But also, if you ever stayed up for like 2 days straight, you get that weird kind of halo effect, and everything feels slightly not real. But it's quite an interesting effect.
It's definitely a distinct look.
Yeah. And there's also, I think, there's scenes where they filmed it backwards to make things.
Yeah, there's a really good scene where it's. I think the only way you can really tell it's snowing, and you can see the snow rising.
Rising, yeah.
Which makes, really.
It makes the whole film like you are on the edge or slightly losing grip of reality.
Yeah.
But of course Nicolas Cage pays to a T. He's famous as being a bit of an overactor, and he does it not
He's toned down a bit in this, but not quite as crazy.
Although I've never seen anyone drop a pill quite as manic as Nicolas Cage.
He's not quite face-off levels in this, is he?
Not quite, no. But it's great, and I have a love-hate relationship with Nicolas Cage, but I enjoy him.
Well, I think in the 90s he did he did do quite a few good movies. And this is definitely one of them.
And it's also got a great supporting cast. I think Patricia Arquette is amazing in this. She's kind of, I suppose, off the back of True Romance, but I thought she did a really good job in this film.
They were actually a couple while they were making this.
Well, they were married, weren't they? Correct. And so I think it's really good. It's worth checking out. It was a failure when it first came out.
Yeah, there was a certain expectation from Scorsese films. After he'd done Goodfellas and Casino, he's not doing a gangster film. I'm not interested then. And he did kind of move away from that because he didn't want to be constantly associated.
Yeah.
With gangster pictures.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that it's not a gangster. I'm not a huge gangster film fan. I do love Goodfellas and Casino. But I thought it was, it's nice to see him tackle a different subject and a subject. Yeah. And again, not because obviously the next one down will be the police. There's loads of films about policemen in New York, but films about medics,
paramedics.
Not at all. I think it's a really nice, a really interesting premise to look at, and obviously somewhere you can. I mean, you're literally playing on the verge of life and death because that's the situations these people find themselves in.
And it's based on a book by Joe Connolly, who based the book on his own experiences as a paramedic. So obviously the film is going to be slightly heightened reality and dramatised, but you can imagine that some of the situations are pretty much as
medics must hit things like post-traumatic stress disorder.
Absolutely, yeah. I think
alcoholism and things like that.
Well, yeah, they're all
kinds of.
He does start drinking while they're driving around.
We're not suggesting medics do that.
No, absolutely not. But you kind of understand why he needs to. He just says, "I just need a drink and a sleep," and you can see, I can get that because you look awful.
Yes,
and I think he's not able to block out. The sort of the trauma that he sees every day, whereas the partners that he rides with, either they deal with it a different way or they haven't quite reached the point yet where they are completely burnt out and they still can sort of forget about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas he's sort of reached the point where he just can't. It's just constantly on his mind and he's haunted by all the things that he sees.
Yeah, yeah.
If you are a fan of Scorsese, whatever, it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. It's one of his lesser known films.
I mean, for me, it was because I saw it in the cinema when it came out, and I always put it in like my top 5 Scorsese films. It's I think it's really good.
And there's also a great soundtrack as well, which is also a Scorsese staple, isn't it? He usually has. Yeah,
so it was composed by Elmer Bernstein, who countless movies because he was huge career. Things like The Magnificent Seven, the original one, and Ghostbusters, he famously did.
Yeah, Great
Escape. Yeah, loads of films.
Cape Fear remake with another Scorsese.
The Cape Fear, the other, it was also Scorsese. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it. It's not very hard to find. I think we both got it on DVD. Yeah. It's not on Blu-ray.
No.
This is there's a feature on this, isn't there?
There is like a 10-minute featurette which has got a bit of behind-the-scenes footage and some interviews with Nicolas Cage and some of the other actors and the author of the book and Scorsese himself as well. And there's some it's only 10 minutes, but it's some quite interesting little facts in there.
It's quite a nice, it's quite good quality. I mean,
considering it's it's only DVD, it's not a bad, and it's quite old as well. It's it's not a bad picture. So.
It's an odd one that it's not on Blu-ray because it's it's not it's a Scorsese film.
Well, yeah, don't know. But
put it out there, someone. Give us a nice Blu-ray with some nice.
Maybe in a couple of years, when it's 20 years old, and we'll have a nice anniversary edition. Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, it's a bit. It deserves a decent edition.
So that was Bringing Out the Dead. And if you enjoy this video, give us a like and do subscribe because we've got some great content coming up over the next few weeks.
Yes, and leave us a comment. If you like the video, if you like, if you're a Scorsese fan, let us know. If you like the channel, tell us if you like it, what you like about it. If you don't like it. You don't need to tell us that. And if you've got some forgotten films that you think we should cover, then let us know.
Definitely.
And we'll look into that.
Great, we will.
So there's some more videos coming up. So click away when they appear and enjoy.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.